Hi guys, it's such a beautiful morning. Just take a look around. Isn't that beautiful? Well, and I'm so happy. I don't even know why. I don't think I need a reason for being happy, right? Not like it's a bad thing. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through the process of feeding my layer chickens. You know the drill. We want it quicker, easier, cheaper, so that you get richer. Talking about cheaper, recently on one of my videos, I noticed someone commented about my methods being rudimentary. Now, not like I'm bothered by that, but I want to point this out so that you're not bothered if someone says that to you. I started this poultry farm about 1 year ago with limited money. And you guys saw the kind of drinkers I've been using. Well, I'm still using. And I've been able to make money off the farm, yeah? So it doesn't matter whether guys think the methods are rudimentary or not, just go on, as long as they work, yeah? Enough of that, let's go inside the structure and I'll show you how I feed my birds. So guys, here we are. I'm certain you can notice the birds feeding very gracefully. It might be a bit loud in here, but well, I believe it's the best setting for me taking you through this. So please just bear with me. But just in case you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel, a practicing medical doctor, very passionate about poultry farming. And on this channel, I teach you guys about poultry farming in all the different ways. So in case you want to learn more, learn how to make more money in an easier way, please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything, and please always come back. Now, me being around draws all the attention from the birds to me, so they're going to get closer and get louder. I'm certain you can see them all around me, right? Getting closer, getting louder, and well, they love me. Anyway, let's go to the feeding schedule. We usually feed the birds at around 6:30 a.m. and at around 1 p.m. in the afternoon. It's around 8 a.m. so you can see they are still feeding. By around 9 a.m., 9:30 or 10 a.m., the feeds in these feeders will be completely done. The feeders will be empty. Now, before we used to feed the birds once. We used to put in all their ration for the day at once. But then later on, after getting more knowledge from a few people, I noticed that it's better that you give them feeds twice. Now, why is it better to feed the birds twice? Well, first of all, when you used to give the birds the feeds at once, early in the morning, by like 11:30 midday, the feeds would be completely done and they would have nothing to feed on for the rest of the day. What does that mean? Increased boredom for the birds, yeah? They will scratch the ground and get tired, and what happens after some time? They start fighting, they start scratching themselves, that's how cannibalism sets in, because the birds are bored for a really long time, yeah? Number two, the crop stays long for a really long time, yeah? And that's what causes cannibalism. The birds want their crop to have something the whole time. There needs to be something inside the crop. So it is better if the birds are fed twice, you know. In the morning they'll have something, and then by afternoon you give them another ration, so they have a bit more time being occupied feeding, and then after that, you know, they can play around, run around, scratch the ground, and before you know it, it's night. And that's even better. It started giving us better laying. And by the way, the birds know the feeding time. When it gets to around 12:30 in the afternoon, you'll see them piling around the door, waiting for their afternoon portion of the feed. So guys, this is it. This is around the time when the birds are fed, and you can see all of them piled up at the entrance. They are all hungry and agitated, so they are very loud. So they are waiting for the feeds. If I look behind me, you'll notice that there is nothing this side. They are all piled up towards the entrance because they are waiting for their feeds. So it's time to feed them for their lunch time feed, if you'd call it that. So I feed them 125 grams per bird per day. That's around 95 kilograms for the day. Of that, the advisable thing to do is to give the birds 60% of the feed in the morning and then 40% of the feed in the afternoon. So I give the birds, I know people who do 70-30. For me, I've found that 60-40 works better for me. So I give the birds around 60 kilograms in the morning and then 35 for the morning. Well, that's not 40%, but it's almost, yeah? I used to give the birds 100 kilograms. But as you guys might know, I had a hiccup on the farm, a few birds getting sick, a few birds dying, And right now when I make my calculations, 95 is what I need to give them. So I'm going to be putting a chart up on the screen for how much you need to feed the birds. But what you need to know is that for the first 1 and 2 weeks, you must not limit how much feed you give to the birds, yeah? Give the birds all the feed that they need, because it's very important for their development. The first few weeks are important for what the production of the birds will be. So give the birds as much as you need to give them. Then after that, you can always ration according to the chart that I've displayed. Now the other thing that's very important, and I'm sure you can see, is that the feeders are raised right over here. You can see the feeders are raised on the level of the backs of the birds. Why is this important? This prevents spillage of the feeds, yeah? I've seen guys on Facebook, I mean a few farming Facebook groups, I've seen guys putting their feeders on the ground level. That is horrible. The birds will spill the feeds. As they eat, the feeds will fall down. And the birds are like us. No one likes dirty stuff, yeah? So when the feeds spill and fall on the ground, there are very few chances that the birds will eat that feed, yeah? They all like nice stuff, clean stuff. So make sure that the feeders are raised. That way the birds will spill as little as possible. Right now I can see what has been spilled. It is so little. But you don't have to spill most of your food. Because if you spill most of your food, in the end, you'll calculate, for example, that you've given your birds 95 kilograms when they have actually eaten 70 and 25 kilograms have been spilled on the floor. Now the other thing that you need to know is that you should never let your feeders go to more than a halfway full, yeah? Probably around here. That's what you want to fill it up to. Because when you take it higher, the birds again waste the feeds more. They'll jump on top here and they'll start playing around in the feeds. They will poop, and then some of them, their poop will come inside the feeds. So don't get the feeders to more than a halfway full. And then I'm sure you guys can see the drinkers that I'm using, yeah? I have right one over here, yeah? That I showed you guys how to make. So these drinkers, very good drinkers, very effective. I wash them very often. Someone on the channel told me to use ponds. So, but I'm going to be replacing them very soon because the farm has been going on for some time. I have money coming in. I'm going to be replacing them with more automatic drinkers where I'll just have water somewhere in a tank and then it just flows to the farm. But you just need to replace them whenever there is need. Water needs to be present as often as possible on the poultry farm. I have a few birds pecking on me. I don't know why. They love to peck on me, yeah? But yeah, you just need to replace the water as often as possible, whenever need be. Then the other thing, people have always asked me, you know, do you give your birds vegetables? Do you... Now, before I never used to give them vegetables, actually until now. I never used to give them vegetables because I really had nowhere to grow the vegetables. Now, of course, you can see a lot of land, but we have local chickens around in the compound. And these local chickens, you know, you never know where they roam from, so they could carry diseases, and I didn't want them, you know, to go feed on those vegetables. Then I pick the same vegetables, break for my birds. They could carry diseases. But right now, I've fenced the place, so the local chickens don't come in anymore. So I'll be able to grow my own vegetables and supply them for the birds. Really, the feeds that I give my chickens are sufficient. They have all the required nutrients. But the vegetables can be hung, and that's very important because it reduces on the boredom that the birds will have, yeah? So after they have finished their feeds, probably in the evening, let's say at around 3-4 p.m., you just hang in the vegetables, the birds keep jumping to peck, and that takes away all the boredom. So guys, yeah, that's how I feed my layer chickens. I believe I've told you almost everything. In case you have a question, you can leave it in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as possible. And so don't forget to watch more of my videos right here and click here to hit the subscribe button. See you guys next week on the same channel for another video. Lots of love.